Hey there. Many years ago, I was lucky to be on an archaeological dig searching for the Palace of Odysseus. Right now, I'm reading this new translation by Emily Wilson, the first woman to do a translation, and I'm finding it very readable and really enjoying it. But I had an experience the other night that just goes to show that you don't have to go halfway around the world to experience an odyssey with a whole cast of characters and various gods and goddesses that are helping you to get to your destination or to get home. My experience didn't take 20 years as it took Odysseus to get home, but I had a lot of hurdles and hoops, so impulsively I bought a ticket, and I got a good ticket because I thought, I'm just not going to sit up in the rafters. I'm going to really enjoy this. And I just decided to go alone. I didn't think I figured, okay, the smart thing to do would be to take the Metrolink, which has a stop right across the street. Sounds easy, right? Wrong. The first lesson that I learned that I will share with you, and I hope that I never forget again in my entire life, is that you need to know where you're going. Well, I don't go to concerts very often. When they said this name of the arena, I just thought, oh, it's the big arena downtown. Innocently enough, I drove to the Metrolink station and immediately had trouble buying a ticket because I find these kiosks confusing. And then I also had gone to the wrong spot for the ticket taker and had to walk further, and I missed the first train that passed by. So then there was about a 10 or 15 minute wait. Already I'd been helped by a couple of guards. And there weren't many people at all on the platform. There was myself, and then there were a couple of butt bros, and they were very friendly, and they also liked classical music, which was refreshing. One of them was smoking weed, and their names were Little D and Lambo, which was short for Lamborghini. So I thought, well, those are really interesting names. And they were very pleasant. And I got on the train, and then the first sign that I see is that the particular stop that I thought I was supposed to get off at was closed for construction. I walked through a few of the cars, and then I saw this family that looked like they were dressed up for church. And it turned out they were evangelicals going to some big event at the convention center. A guard came on board, and I asked him, where do I get off for this? He said, you missed the stop. And I was like, no, I didn't. It's coming up. He says, no, it's back. Now I was really in trouble. He said, well, it's probably a 5-minute walk from that stop. So I had to get off the train and then get back on another one going backwards. And it let me off at a really desolate part of town. In fact, later on, I found out it's where the stockyards used to be. But now it's just all concrete, and now it's dark, and there's a little bit of drizzle. Entrances onto the highway that I had to cross that I really thought were very, very dangerous and scary. Hardly any buildings, not a speck of nature, just concrete everywhere. Extremely ugly surroundings. That guard who had told me I had gotten off at the wrong stop, had helped me download this transit app. And I thought, okay, I'll follow that to this arena. And it said 35 minutes to walk it. And I was into the walk about 10 minutes in this very bleak part of town. And I thought, this is crazy. I should take an Uber. So I looked at my Uber app and tried to pull that up, but it was using an old email that I've closed. And I tried to open up a new account, and it was just so difficult. Just gave it up, and I thought, oh, I'm just gonna have to walk. So I was walking fast, and now I'm starting to get a little sweaty because it was very, very humid. Finally get to the hall, and then my seat, which I thought would be really great, in a balcony so that I could look down on the orchestra, was really practically on the floor, and you had to turn sideways, and I wasn't happy with that. So at intermission, I moved and found a chair that I could actually I could angle it to look at it comfortably and get a better view. But I enjoyed the concert, and everybody seemed to be really enjoying themselves. And I thought, well, all of them seem to get here in one piece without all the problems that I did. Leaving, I double checked with another usher about how to get back to this station because I thought, I'm just gonna walk it. In fact, she informed me that there was a street that was not accessible to cars, but everyone was walking down it, and that shaved the time in half. If Transit app had known about that, I would have been there earlier. So I was feeling very good, part of this huge crowd, thousands of people, all moving along. And then we get up to Grand Avenue, and everybody goes this way, and I'm the only one going that way. And it is dark, and it is drizzling a little bit, but I thought, I can do this. So here I am, this long platinum hair and a white raincoat from Neiman Marcus in this godforsaken part of town, and walking along that street. This guy did a U-turn and pulled up alongside of me. He says, he's a Middle Easterner. He said, where are you going? Where can I take you? Let me help you. And I thanked him and I said, I'm just going to the Metrolink station. And I couldn't get into the car with a stranger. I mean, I don't think he meant any harm to me whatsoever. And he was really, really concerned, which I thought, well, I guess this is a crazy thing, but I'm in the midst of it and I'm just going to try to do it. Finally, in frustration, he pulled off. And so I finally make it down to the Metrolink station, and weird, unfriendly place. And again, there were very few people on the platform. Nobody from the concert was as crazy as I was, I'm telling you what. And I noticed about 7 security guards scurrying around. And apparently there was some fellow who had jumped on the platform that wasn't supposed to be there. And he was a crazy person and going off, about seeing this is obscene, talking about seeing some guy masturbating. And I don't know if he was making it up or what, but that was you get the picture of the kind of atmosphere that I was in. And I stopped to ask one of the guards what was going on and everything, why were all these guards typical? And he said, yes, it's very dangerous. People come on with guns and they there's fights that break out, and America used to be a good place. He's saying this. He says, America used to be a great place to live, but it's not anymore because of the Democrats. And I was a little taken aback with him obviously being an immigrant, and I didn't have time to respond to what he was saying and correct him, but because the train was coming. And I had to make sure that it was the right train and not take the wrong train. And just before that, it was 11 o'clock at night. And I had the terrible thought, oh my God, what if they stop running the trains at 11 o'clock at night? What will I do then? So fortunately, that wasn't the case. I was able to get onto the right train so that I would be dropped off near where I had parked my car. I was just so done with everything. I wanted to get home. And again, when I got off of the train, this very friendly Indian student asked me, can I direct you to where you need to go? And I said, well, yeah, where's the parking lot? Because I was a little confused with things being turned around. And so he pointed it out to me. That was another nice interchange. And then in pulling out my car keys, where's my house key? So I thought, this is just the icing on the cake. I thought, I'm just not going to deal with this. And I got in my car and I drove to my house. And then as I was pulling out my keys from my transparent bag, there was my house key. It had come separated and it was in the bottom. So I got inside. I got ready for bed and read another chapter of the Odyssey. I really felt like at Blanche Dubois in Streetcar Named Desire that I've always depended on the kindness of strangers. Indeed, I have. I'm not afraid of talking to people. Afterwards, I realized, I thought, well, actually, I ticked off. I had 12 encounters with different people, different nationalities, different races, different socioeconomic brackets. It was really very interesting. And even though it was frustrating at times, to say the least, if I had driven downtown in my car and parked in a parking garage and been with a friend, I would have been insulated from everything almost. I wouldn't have had the story to tell. It was just kind of a good experience to show that I can adapt and learn, like make a big sign for myself. No, where are you going, Renee? And I can survive these difficulties. And then I have a great story to tell at the end of it. But that's what you get when you're, well, no, you don't have to be 73 years old like I am to have that experience. You could have it at any age, anything that's not safe. But I say, don't let that stop you. If you want to do something, go ahead and do it. The chances of something going wrong are not really likely. That's all I wanted to share with you for right now. Stick around for more. Like and subscribe, and you'll be kept up to date on further adventures or misadventures.